All right, YouTube world, we caught up with Leslie. How's it going today?
Good. Hi, guys.
So why don't you teach us a little something about drugs?
Drugs 101?
Drugs 101.
All right, what should we start with?
So let's start with heroin.
Heroin? Well, heroin, from what I understand, comes from Afghanistan mostly. Well, a lot of it. Truck's kind of loud right now. All right, so, you know, like they smuggle it in. I think everybody probably watched American, what's that movie? American, with, what's his name? The movie, you gotta rewind that. What is that movie with, Denzel Washington? The heroin movie.
I don't know.
American Gangster.
Okay.
All right, American Gangster. So everybody probably watched American Gangster, which is a true story, and it pretty much shows how the heroin was smuggled in. He actually goes to Afghanistan to get the heroin. But the heroin today is not like the heroin was back then. Back then it was actually heroin. Now it's pretty much fentanyl. Sometimes if you're lucky you can get a mixture of heroin and fentanyl, but mostly it's fentanyl, which at first I didn't like, and I don't mind it now. When I had cancer, or actually, you know, when I was in my bad car accident and I broke my spine, they put me on fentanyl patches. I used to suck the fentanyl from the patch. That's what drug addicts do, pretty much. But here comes the truck. But when I first started doing fentanyl, like as, you know, recreational drug, it gave me like anxiety and it made me antsy and I didn't like it. But eventually, like, they started putting half and half dope, half fentanyl. But now it's just straight fentanyl. And I'm used to it, and like if I was to do dope, I probably wouldn't feel anything. I would probably still kind of be sick. Maybe, I'm not really positive about that, but I probably would be. But yeah, now everybody wants fentanyl. So how you do it, I mean, there's many ways of how you could do it. I am an IV drug user. I am a safe IV drug user. I've never shared a needle. I don't I'm not going to say I don't use dirty needles, because you know what, sometimes my works are like old and thrown in my purse with all my makeup and crap, and probably pretty dirty. But I try to be as health conscious as possible when I'm using my needles. This is a good place to do this with all these trucks. But then there's the sniffers, and you can sniff the dope. And you know, I started off sniffing the dope, but I probably sniffed it for about a day before I started shooting it. Because I am a hardcore drug addict when it comes down to it. I want it, you know, to hit my system as fast as possible, and plus there's that rush. As soon as it hits your bloodstream, you know, all your pain subsides. Your muscles pretty much go like, and it's just, you know, a fucking amazing feeling, and that's why people get hooked on it.
Do you feel it every time?
No. I used to when when I used to go to North Camden and like it was actually dope, actually heroin. Yeah, I would feel it every time, unless it was like crap dope. But mostly, yeah, I would feel it every time. And it just like, if you're cold right away, like it's just like this warmth that like travels through your body, and like, you know, your pain starts to subside as like it, you know, goes to different parts of your bloodstream, and as it does, like your muscles just let go. Any like pinched nerves you have, like in my shoulder right now, would just let go, and I would just be relaxed and probably get sleepy, and everybody knows heroin addicts not out. Some of the heroin addicts around here like to roll around in the street and make weird noises and dance, and everybody knows like the heroin nod when like they're going down, 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 but they never hit the ground. It's like, I don't know, they were trained to do it or something, but they never seem to hit that ground. But they look like they're going to.
So what is it that you're feeling when you're nodding?
I would say nothing. Like, it's like the peace of mind of feeling nothing. So, okay, like what they call it twist now, I'm not sure what that really means, but my twist now is like, I'll do the coke, I'll smoke the coke, crack, I hate that word crack, so we'll say coke. I smoke the coke, and then which really doesn't affect me anymore unless it's really good. Like, you can't really get good stuff anymore. I don't know if it's because of the COVID or what, or my system is just really immune to it now. But I'll smoke, and then I start thinking like, oh my god, I'm such a piece of shit, like what am I doing out here? I need to go home. Like, and I start thinking about my son, and then and my mom and my sister and my dad and my dude, and like I'll start getting really depressed, and I'll need the heroin to numb me. So right away I go do the heroin, because it takes depression away, sadness away, happiness away. Sex doesn't feel the same. You're just numb. You just don't feel much of anything really, unless like in the beginning, I guess, like, okay, so when I started doing Percocets, it made me feel more talkative, more social, more outgoing. And I was a server at the time, and I was also doing bachelor parties in Atlantic City, and it would just make me more social, and you know, I could dance around, and you know, I felt like it made me a better waitress. I felt like I was more on point, and I was, but that feeling goes away like quick. Like, that doesn't last long, kids. So don't think you're gonna keep doing Percocets and it's gonna be the same as it was in the beginning, because it's not. It goes away really, really fast, and then you're left with the sickness, the withdrawal, and that sucks. I actually can compare it to getting chemotherapy. Like, when I used to get chemo, I used to get sick right away, and it was like the worst sickness you can have. Like, I would say it's like the flu, but it's not. It's like the flu times 50. Chemotherapy sucks, and withdrawal is pretty much just like chemo. You just want to jump out of your skin, because on top of feeling physically ill, you feel like mentally ill. Like, you're obsessing over, if I just got that shot in me, I would feel so much better. All this misery and tormenting myself would just go away.
But that's more the addiction. That's the addiction.
Yeah, I mean, because of addiction, they say there's two parts to it, the obsession and the compulsion. And it's so true, because your mind just like won't stop nagging at you, and like, unless you have, like, you know,
a replacement, something to take its place, right?
Well, not just a replacement, but also like a good, you need like groundwork, you need like people behind you, you need support, you need like, and I'm not talking like my mommy and daddy are like nice to me type support. No, you need like a whole group of people, a whole freaking circus of people to catch you if you're about to fall, because it's really easy to fall, and when you fall hard, and you don't really, it's very, very hard to come back after a relapse. And that's where I am now. That's what happened. I didn't have, I mean, don't get me wrong, my mom, my dad, my sister, my friends, and my, you know, cousins and stuff are so supportive, and they're so good to me. And my mom, just like, she's that woman. I don't know how she does what she does, but I had a great support system, and still I relapsed. So it, like, you have to have, like, you know,
it's got to be in your head too, right?
Oh yeah, well, absolutely. You have to.
If it's not in your head, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, if you don't want to quit, your mom, your dad, your, you know, significant other can, you know, want you to go to rehab or detox or whatever, and you can go. Guess what? You're not going to stay clean unless you want to. And like, you don't have to want to that much. You just have to want to a little bit more than you want to get high. And I mean, I'm pretty much at that point right now. I would go to detox in a heartbeat. But yeah, anyway, back to the drugs. Alright, what am I missing? I did heroin, touched on Percocets.
So, coke.
Alright, coke.
Or snorter, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you smoke it, you're smoking crack. I hate that word. Like, when I think crack, I think of, like, you know,
a drug addict.
Right. Right.
Which,
me.
You are.
Yeah. But it's pretty much like you see in, like, the movies, and the dude that does, like, the skit, what's his name, black dude, whatever his name is, he does, like, the crackhead on stage. It's pretty much just like that. Except for me, I smoke so much that it doesn't affect me anymore. But unless it's really good, like, it just, I smoke it like I'm smoking cigarettes. But yeah, it doesn't really affect me anymore. But other, like, when it does affect you, it's like cocaine, but a little bit different. You get a bunch of energy, and a lot of people, it's called a skits, where, like, some people will be, like, peeking out, like, the windows. They think the DEA is, like, in the phone wires, and, you know, crawling on the ground thinking the cops are coming to get them, and Al-Qaeda's out there waiting to bomb them. And there's some really funny skits too. Like, I've watched people's skits and just sat there dying laughing, like, oh my god, why do you even smoke if you get like that, you know? But, and, like, people always say, like, if you get like that, what is fun about smoking crack? But the thing is, it is, like, when I started smoking crack in North Camden, there was, like, this field all the way in the back, and it was just, like, overgrown crap. And yeah, I would, like, hide in the bushes and straight, like, have fun thinking that people were, like, spying on me. The bushes. I once knocked on my neighbor's door and told him the DEA was under the porch spying on me. My mom moved out of that apartment, thank God, after that. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. Like, some guys get, like, really weird off of it. Like, I don't smoke with guys because I don't like the way a lot of guys get. Like, they get horny, like, really horny, and some just get, like, kind of aggressive and weird, and so I don't do that anymore. I learned my lesson the hard way a few times.
So we went over perks, coke,
yeah,
crack. How about meth?
Meth. Okay. So evidently there's meth, and then there's crystal meth. I mean, from what I hear, there's only meth right now. There's not really crystal meth. I could be wrong. I don't know. But it's not like it was back in the day, from, like, what my mother tells me. Not that she did meth, Mom. You know, you can do your own video one time. But I hear back in the day it was, like, actually, like, really intense, and everybody loved it. And Now it's like I did it like a bunch of times. I mean, I sniffed it, I smoked it, I hot railed it, sniffed it, smoked it, hot railed it, rolled around in it, slept with it. I never felt anything from it. I shot it, still didn't feel anything from it. And then like somebody I know got a batch and I shot some and I actually felt it for the first time. It was a rush, and then like you don't really feel like high, you just get a bunch of energy and you feel more social. But I don't like anything that really gives me anxiety. So, but it's weird because years ago, like I didn't hear of anybody doing meth. Like you really didn't hear about people doing meth that often, and now, like today, it's like everybody's doing meth, everybody's selling meth. It's everywhere. It's like the new cool drug. But I don't think it's anything special at all. I mean, no drug is anything special, but yeah, I don't get high off it, and many people I know say the same thing, like they don't feel anything from it. It's probably crap meth, but I hear a lot of people saying that they don't feel anything from it. But yeah, you can smoke it, hot rail it, shoot it, sniff it. When you sniff it, it feels like your face is gonna fall off. You want to rip your face off. It burns so bad.
How about the last thing I want to talk about is salts. You know anything about salts?
I don't, thank God. I hear they make you go a little crazy. Somebody I know just told me like about a little story they had with the bath salts, but I mean, from what I hear, they make you go like nuts. And I like drugs that kind of let me keep my composure halfway. So I'm gonna stay away from the bath salts.
All right, well, I think that's all I have. Is there anything else you want to add?
No. No, that's it.
That's it?
That's
all
it.
right. Well, thanks for your time.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate it.
Take care.
Thanks.